everyone, it's Kerilie McDowall from Canadian Online Guitar Lessons, and I'm so honored to be here with you today to have a discussion about creative exploration, positivity, and manifestation. I'm really excited to bring this topic to you today as a creative. Just a little bit about me, but before I get to that, I really want to thank Elizabeth Ocean and her team for this fabulous opportunity. It's just such a wonderful festival so far, the Women's Spirit Festival. Fantastic, awesome. So, listen, I'll tell you a bit about myself. So, I'm a music graduate, and I'm a music writer. I've done a lot of music writing. I formerly wrote for Downbeat magazine, which is an American magazine, despite being Canadian. And I'm also a filmmaker. I'm a 13 award filmmaker of the film called In the Zone, Rick Kilburn. It's a short jazz documentary. And I've been manifesting a lot recently, guys. It's partly why I got inspired to do this topic for you. Just a little bit about that. So currently, I'm #1 in Nanaimo for the Alignable Business Person of the Year, which has just been fantastic. A real honor to be receiving that designation. And then I managed to reach #20 as far as women go on that Alignable list out of North America, the 20th. And there's 8 million Alignable users, so of course that was very exciting. And I reached #39 out of all of North America, so that was pretty exciting. Additionally, just in this past month, on February 7th, I was awarded the Creative Innovator Award for my work in film. So that was my 13th film award, and then I've in the past received awards in radio and jazz composition because I'm a jazz guitarist. I was a jazz band leader for 10 years in Vancouver, BC. So I'm a music coach. I coach musicians. I coach filmmakers, new directors, and I also work with beginners on guitar and intermediate, as well as helping nonprofit organizations and businesses with their events listings and their events publicity, because I find a lot of them aren't really aware of all the tricks for savings. So I usually get together with them and show them a few social media and listings tricks and all of that. So that's a little bit about me. Now, getting on to the workshop, you know, I guess what I want to say is there's a real process to this whole thing here, and I just want to kind of reach over there and grab my paper because I left it in the photocopy machine. I know that's not so great, but I really want to go over the details of the manifestation list. Actually, I don't think I really have to do that for you. I can probably get it up here and just go over it with you. So we'll go through that quickly. So we've got an action to do checklist gift for you today, and that's what we're going to be talking about. So we want to start off with this strategy list of how to enact and realize your bucket list, right? So I want you to create your most favorite, most beloved creative activities. I want your top 5. So you'll see if you go to the link that's there in the comments, you'll see that there's weekly planners that you can print. So print a couple of those, and if you're able to do that now. And what you do is you want to choose your top 5 creative activities that you just love, your top 5 philosophical values. So for me, for example, I really love to volunteer in the community, and I also have a real ambition to really want to help disabled people one day in a very large, grandiose manner. So that's another kind of philosophical value that's part of my top 5, right? So you may have a completely different list, so put that list, create that list, and then of course your top 5 creative bucket list items. So it could be creative. I want you to put a couple of creative items in there. So top 5, your top 5 bucket list items, the things that you've always loved and wanted to do, those things that just resonate in your heart. So once you have all of those 5, now of course with your bucket list you may have more than 5, so you can create a longer list if you like. Go ahead. And then you want to start getting into the actual realization and strategizing of it all, right? And how you're going to implement it so that it actually manifests. So you want to choose your top 5 and get those on your weekly planner, right? So spread it out over 2 weeks. Choose 2 to 3 goals from 2 to 3 choices from your top 15, and spread them out over the 2 weeks, okay? And then while you're doing that, every day, I want you to read out loud 3 affirmations, positive affirmations, and say them out loud. And after doing this for about 14 days, it will become habit. And you'll also start to notice some changes. I really hope that happens for you, because this has happened for me. Then you want to choose from your top 5 those 3 daily actions that you're going to be doing every day. And then, as part of your daily routine, I want you to acknowledge the 5 things that you're absolutely grateful for. Whatever those things are, you want to acknowledge them and put those into your sphere every day, and reflect on them, because it really helps you maintain that positive mindset that you kind of need to be into in order to manifest positivity. So, my great early jazz mentor Tom Roden says, "Be positive, Kerilie. Good things will come to you." That's my favorite quote of Tom's. He's 93 years old, and trust me, he has wisdom. And so once you've chosen your planners, of course you're going to spread out those 15 choices that you've made from your top fives. And then you're going to create a vision board. Now, if you've never made a vision board, I really highly recommend that you use the feng shui system, the feng shui vision board system, using the Bagua charts. Okay, and they're really fantastic. Like, the way they're organized, they really do help you manifest really incredible things into your life. Of course, when I first made my first vision board, I was very suspicious, didn't think it would work, just thought it was going to be a waste of my time. But I've been making vision boards now for every yearly and regularly, every time I want to get through some hurdles. And I find that everything on my vision boards comes true. Like, sometimes 6 months to a year to 2 years, but a couple of years have passed, and I look at the vision board, and almost every little item has transpired. I thoughtlessly put things down, like, on my vision boards, like awards, volunteering, television, movie. All those things were just kind of thoughts that appealed to me, but they weren't really kind of solid goals. But be careful what you put on that vision board, because it'll come true. Because, of course, I've made a movie, all those things that I've mentioned, they've all come true. I've done a lot of television work, a lot of TV directing. I did 5 to 6 years of that as a volunteer, 17 years as a jazz radio host. So I'm telling you, the things that interest you in your life, and you may find you're in a rut at some point. You may feel really stuck. Like, after 17 years of doing radio, I felt very stuck. So I was really glad to make that transition into television. It was really positive for me. Okay, so you're gonna go through that list, and then you're going to make that feng shui vision board. Now, the directions are on my site. You just go to that link there, in the comments, the first link, and you can go to those links, and they will really guide you through the feng shui vision board process. I want you to nurture it and really spend time with it, because you'll be amazed at what transpires after you've made a couple of vision boards. It's just so phenomenal, the way the universe is balanced and the way it works, and how setting those intentions will come back to you, and the positivity that you put out there also returns to you. So you make those manifestations known on the vision board that you want to bring into your life. And then I want you to start journaling, okay? So, like, journaling is a really great way to vent, to kind of process trauma, to kind of let go of things that may be like blocks within your life. And also, I don't think your friends want to hear your deepest sort of, whining, or any of that kind of whining, or the things. We can get stuck into periods of thinking where we're catastrophizing, or being hard on ourselves, or we're being negative, or we're just not processing things in a logical way. Sometimes we can even be stuck in illusion. So really, just a way to vent and get to the reality in the heart of your true emotions and your state of mind, right? So you want to do those things, okay? Now, I want to say that as you go along, you may find you're a little stuck, but you can work through these things by brainstorming, okay? Now you may wonder, well, what do you mean by brainstorming, Kerilie? Well, it's a whole process of creative intuition that can really manifest many wonderful things into your life. And so I just want to get up here on my screen here, positivity and manifestation. And so I've been a filmmaker, I've been a musician, I do abstract art, I'm really into visual art as well as a hobbyist. But with your bucket list, I've got a wonderful link on my site, on my website, 10 most powerful affirmations. So I want you to have a look at that, okay? Because those affirmations are really fantastic and very positive. You're going to look at the feng shui vision board. So just summarizing here a bit, you're going to do your journaling, right? Now, the intuitive idea development, just intuitively brainstorming, just coming up with random thoughts, but starting with a seed idea. So how do you brainstorm? How do you do this? Like, what is the process of it, you may be wondering. So you start off with a seed idea in a circle, right on a blank piece of paper. And just that seed idea, you put a circle around it, and you start branching out ideas from it. Okay, so I want you to make a line and make a random thought or association or something that came to your subconscious and just write it down. Just write it down, okay? You'll see an example of how to brainstorm on my website. And then just let those ideas flow in a circle around your central idea, that seed idea. You're creating a garden, right? You're creating the stems and the leaves and the flowers are unfolding. And then once you have these ideas around that central seed idea, you want to branch ideas off of those ideas, okay? So by the time you're done, you'll have quite an intricate kind of board of ideas and thoughts and creative planning, and you can organize it into a structure, a form, by choosing the best ideas from what you've created. Now, of course, all of the ideas that you choose there might not be your best thoughts, but you just choose a couple of them, right? So now I want to teach you how to center yourself so that when you're getting into creative states, it's a good idea to meditate before you plan on creating, to get yourself into a centered balanced state. So here's my wonderful Tibetan singing bowl. Isn't that lovely? So that's the key of G. You hear that harmonic rings out beautifully, and the tones of the singing bowls, by the way, correspond with different organ and body parts and are very healing. They actually are physically healing tones. So this one is G. It's a beautiful G tone. Isn't that beautiful? So that's G. And what you would want to do is just breathe in for 5 counts and then breathe out. Okay? And so you can use something like a singing bowl to center you, or just, a feather, whatever helps you achieve that state of mind, perhaps a crystal or something, a favorite object, just to get you feeling centered and safe, right? And then you sit down and you start to brainstorm and you create. So with your brainstorming, it doesn't necessarily have to be a word that you start off with, okay? You can start off with an image if you're a photographer, or, a visual artist, a little sketch or something. If you're a musician, you can put musical notes there, or a musical phrase, or a rhythm, right? If you're, let me think, if you're a writer, of course, you're going to be working with words, right? So you may have a story idea, so it may be a whole idea like of an actual phrase of words, or maybe just one sentence, or maybe just one word. Okay, so these are your seed ideas that you're creating, that you're going to branch out into this elaborate creation on a large piece of paper, and then you're going to structure them. Like I said, you're gonna look at your introduction, your climax, and your withdrawal. So what your apogee, right? So often in music, when we're composing music, we will even create a palindrome, which is a bunch of material going up to a climax or an apogee, and then slowly coming down. And we'll sometimes use the very same material going backwards to create a perfect form, right? A perfect arc. But with writing, we may just start off with a theme or a central idea, or characters, or scenes, if we're a filmmaker, when we storyboard, when we're a filmmaker, we will create the scenes of our documentary or our fictional films as we go, and so that we have the whole arc of how the whole film is going to take place before we've even created it, because we have to have an idea of how it's going to transpire. And of course, as things come up, we may add enhancements, we may add details. So if you're ever stuck with a writer's block, do this brainstorming technique. It will get you out of that mode very quickly. And if you're really still stuck, I want you to get a thesaurus and start looking up words related to the words that you've created on your brainstorming. Like, for example, if you'd come up with the idea, I don't know, positivity, you may look up a word in your thesaurus that would be elated, or just different words, and different words have different intent and can spark different ideas, and so it's just a way to keep going with the creative process. So as you create those wonderful brainstorming ideas, structure them out. Create your art. Create your art. Now you can do this out. You may say, well, I'm not a creative person, Kerilie, I'm just not. So how do I do this? Well, you can do this with aspects and goals of your life, like real kind of targeted business ideas. If it's something within your business, you can strategize for your business, for some sort of major life event that you're planning. You can brainstorm for anything, okay? So I want you to take that seed idea, develop it, grow it, enhance it, and manifest that dream. You've got your bucket list. So you want to strategize those ideas of that bucket list over that. Like, you're going to make little steps towards that every day. Are you going to spend 15 minutes? Are you going to spend a half an hour? How much time can you devote to this? Are you going to do it in the morning? Are you going to do it at night? But you have to have an action plan. So create that action plan with my weekly planners. Have fun with it. This is for you. This is about self-love. And it's about manifestation. You want results. So I started off, as a musician, performing professionally at the age of 15, 16, 17 in pop bands, rock bands at high school. And then that led me later to band leading in Vancouver as a jazz guitarist and band leader. And then I ended up with radio and television and then film. And actually I got overwhelmed with the film. People wouldn't stop contacting me. So of course you don't want to go too far with things. It's not that I regret anything. It's just some of it I couldn't even anticipate what would happen. But it's been a fabulous journey. So explore your journey and love yourself and enjoy it, And what else I would say is bring inspiration into your life. Find sources of inspiration that really keep you going and are going to keep you on your path of self-realization and self-empowerment. Find your favorite authors, your favorite political heroes, or whatever inspires you in your life, whether it's politics, spirituality, music, arts, philosophy. Find those amazing quotes. Put some of those quotes on your wall, in your kitchen, on your fridge. Get inspired. So remember my friend Tom Roden's words, be positive, Kerilie. Good things will come to you. So tell yourself this. With your affirmations, you can bring these incredible affirmations into your world where you're saying something like, I'm going to bring positivity and love and joy and happiness into my world. And you can say things like that and they will happen. So I'm just going to show you what I do when I'm composing music. I often start off with just one small idea, and then I'll take little details and add to that and build structure and sort of more activity. And then I will diminish it and let it subside into a conclusion, right? So I just wanted to show you, as musicians, we can sort of get stuck even with compositions that we've written ourselves. So you want to try and vary things and not get too stuck into a rut. But this is one. clubbed it a bit there. But as you can see, that just that initial part that I started playing, it's a real kind of calm, reflective, meditative state. You can create those states with your art and really enjoy them and really envelop them. And I guess it's time to wrap up, but I just want to thank you so much for allowing me to spend time with you. A big thank you to Elizabeth Ocean and her team. And I hope if you'd like more information about how to manifest wonderful positive things into your life, or you think you want to learn the guitar, or just discover any kind of creative processes within your life, I'd love to take up the journey with you. Thanks so much for joining me today, everyone. Peace. Take care.